Oh.
It's working.
Oh, my goodness. Despite technical difficulties.
This is Whyte Noise. Ryan and I were having, it was a little bit of a struggle bus getting onto our recording site today. Recording site. I sound like my mother. But our lovely guest, my dear friend Lindsay, did not have trouble getting on. Hi, Lindsay. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for having me.
It's nice to finally meet you.
You too.
Ryan has heard a lot about Lindsay. So Lindsay is a very dear friend who lives around the corner from me and Brian. Brian and I, me and Brian. Anyway, lives around the corner. And has been friends with Brian for what? Like my boyfriend for over 10 years, I want to say.
I think so. I lost count. Yeah.
Yeah. And like when I entered the picture, bartenders were like, wait a second, why are you cheating on your wife? So for a minute there, Lindsay became my wife as well. I was so excited to chat about our topic today with you because our topic, as you know, is online shopping. You have worked in the retail space for a very long time.
Half of my life, or more so now.
What's your specialty?
Right now, I'm specifically working in e-commerce for a luxury company. Previously, so now I'm doing more so remote selling and customer service. Previously, I was basically doing what our friend Brian does, styling guests in store and working, wardrobing them and working on different events they might have. Been in retail and the luxury fashion space since I graduated college. I studied in Italy as well.
Do you have a preference towards the Italian designers as a result?
For sure, yes.
Who's your fave?
So right now, Dolce & Gabbana is on the radar because of, Jeff Bezos' wedding. The Kardashians are wearing it as well. So it's all over Instagram right now. Huge fan of leopard print. So they're always using that, as well as, the fact that everyone seems to be in Italy right now. So, Dolce & Gabbana is very much known for their, Amalfi Coast, prints and on brand and on season with the summer.
So I'm not a super designer wearing person, although I have a couple things that I like. And I feel like at the end of the day, they're probably kind of boring. But I do love a good pair of Ferragamo loafers.
I used to work for Ferragamo.
You did?
Oh, nice.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I studied in Florence, and their headquarters is in Florence.
Again, to me, I'm currently wearing Old Navy and just a baseball hat that's just old. and shorts that are recycled denim shorts that were Brian's dad's pants that he had turned into shorts. So they're like a triple hand-me-down.
Full-on fashion plate.
Listen, you have no idea.
Actually, I will tell you, I wore my Hermes belt home. When I got it for the first time, I was very excited about it. And my mom saw it. And my mom was like, oh, that's a nice belt. Is that Hilfiger?
Oh, see, I would probably be with your mom and be like, that's so fancy. Is that a Hilfiger belt? And you're like, oh, no.
Although, oddly enough, that I feel like that is the thing to say to that's one of those things, like if somebody pulled up in a Ferrari and you'd go, that is a gorgeous Corvette.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that's a great Mazda.
Oh, well, I mean, no, don't get me wrong. And I think the Corvette is a phenomenal car. I'm not picking on the Corvette, but Hilfiger is a phenomenal brand. It's just not a Ferrari. And that's Hilfiger is a great brand. It's just not Hermes.
But you know what? It's almost a compliment because it's quiet luxury. Isn't quiet luxury very much a thing?
Quiet luxury.
Yeah.
Right now.
Quiet luxury.
Lindsay, explain exactly what quiet luxury is, please.
So it's no logos, a lot of neutral colors, not so much prints, more so just very neutral, brown, a lot of beige, creams.
You know what's funny is this is actually a Boss polo.
Oh,
is this quiet luxury? It has Boss on it, but it's in black. You can't see it. Is this quiet luxury?
Well, since it's black on black, it's more quiet. Yes, more so quiet.
It's more quiet. Okay.
Okay. As opposed to loud luxury, which is when you have a T-shirt that says Balenciaga and it's literally screaming at you. Okay, but online shopping. So I'm excited because you're sort of on the other side of it, Lindsay. Mm-hmm. You receive all the stuff, like when something goes wrong and people are like, where's my Hermes belt? You have to solve their problem.
Yes, but I'm also a consumer, so it goes both ways.
Lindsay, what's the hot thing that you really want right now that you haven't purchased for yourself, but you want, and you're just in other words, you're waiting maybe for that moment for it to either you're going to do it at some point just as it is, or you've decided I'm going to wait for that sale I'm going to watch out for and grab, but I'm going to get that thing. It's going to be mine.
I've wanted a Fendi baguette bag, which has become extremely popular because of Sex and the City.
Oh, I just put in baguette bag into Google, and it just brought up bags that look like baguettes.
Lindsay, this one's $59.99. Would you like a bag that looks like a baguette? I'll
Listen,
get one for you.
Betsy Johnson did a baguette bag that looks like a baguette bag, and it's only $118. I say just go for that. It even has little seeds on it. Okay, shall we dive in?
Are you ready, Lindsay?
I'm ready.
Okay, who would you like to hear go first?
Ryan.
How does this always happen?
Everyone always picks Ryan, and it's wonderful because Ryan always researches more than me, so I love it. I learned some things, and then I can sort of riff on it. Actually, no, I read some really interesting articles before this one, I will say. I did a fun little dive this morning. But yes, Ryan just instills confidence in people, I think.
I don't know about that.
I mean, you instill confidence in me.
Aw, thank you.
Okay, go.
It's an addiction at the end of the day. And actually, based upon one of the things you shared, Lindsay, I now have like a question related to addiction. It may be closer to the end. Not for you,
Lindsay, now that
personally.
I'm looking at you, you seem like a person who knows.
Are
about
you addicted?
addiction.
This is...
Welcome to Sneaky AA.
This is actually a confrontation.
We actually brought you here.
Is there anything you'd like to say now? So it's kind of funny. Like, adding things to your cart creates a dopamine hit in your brain. And it essentially is like mimicking... Well, outside of the adding cart, the overall experience kind of mimics gambling.
Oh.
It hits your variable reward loop, which basically causes you to constantly come back for more, right? And that come back for more concept is the idea of like, what will I find? So like, for example, Lindsay, when we were like, you already know this. I'm telling this to you as if like, you buy the baguette bag in the green, and then, but that there's other colors that would go better with what you're going to wear next Friday night. And then suddenly you're like, I really want the pink. And then like the pink, will it go on sale? It goes on sale. Now, like, you'd be silly not to buy it.
I know.
So it's that whole variable kind of reward mimicking gambling thing where you hit a sale or the color you wanted appears and suddenly you've won. Then on top of it all, the idea that you have endless choices, going back to that idea that there's so many variations in the things that you might like, that it overloads your prefrontal cortex. And our brains love rewards. So as your prefrontal cortex becomes overloaded with all of the endless choices, options, and things that you could do and ways that you could work to win, your impulse control just goes poof.
Mm-hmm.
And then suddenly it's all in your shopping cart and you go click buy. It also happens to trigger the nucleus accumbens, which is your pleasure center. So this is related to retail therapy. So retail therapy is a thing where essentially all the dopamine hits that you encounter in here trigger your pleasure center, and it numbs negative emotions. And thus, you do actually start to feel better when you start buying
so it works.
Things. Mm-hmm.
It hits your mental G-spot and you feel better.
You're like, oh, a little more. Actually, on a random topic, I was listening to a podcast the other day that says, that, I mean, this is completely unrelated, that there's now stuff that says that the G-spot itself is actually not necessarily a real thing.
What?
Yeah, that it's actually more likely just like a place that allows you to kind of access the clitoris a little bit differently. So it's not really a different spot per se. But anyway, fun fact, something for everyone to go research. Back on topic, Ryan. My ADHD in full
I was gonna
effect.
say, I love that you just brought it back yourself. You're like, no, Ryan, let's get back to where we're meant to be.
Any longer.
No more vagina talk. That's a different show.
Oh, there's nothing like a man talking about a vagina.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, so the thing that I tripped over that I thought was kind of interesting and one of the most psychologically manipulative items in online shopping is the psychological effect of free shipping and why it's a trap.
Oh.
Yeah, so there's something called the zero price effect, right? And our brain, for some odd reason, I don't think it's for some odd reason, our brains overreact to the word free. We hear free and we're like, what?
Mm-hmm.
I could have this for free. So it activates the reward center just kind of like the same way if you see a discount on something. So suddenly you feel like you don't have to pay for some sort of overhead that you may have had to pay for before. And you're like, yeah, so it's like free. People will spend more to avoid a $5 shipping fee than they would have just to get $5 off the product. Free feels like you're getting away with something. The cart padding is another one. So the minimum to get free shipping, and this will trigger people to be like, well, I wasn't gonna pick up that extra pink bag, but if I get that pink bag, I don't have to pay the $35 shipping. So it's like getting $35 off that bag. So you know what? I might as well get both. It's a loss aversion and a justification. So your brain hates wasting money on shipping. So it would rather spend more money to feel like it saved something.
Fascinating. Because I am the biggest sucker for that, especially when ordering food.
Have you ever disappointed yourself by then going and looking at if you just called the restaurant directly for it, what the delta is on the price on the app versus what they just sell it for at the...
No, but I have felt bad when I'm like, I could have walked a block down the road and just gotten it.
They're getting you. Trust me.
Oh, so gotcha, gal.
The other is cognitive dissonance evasion. So paying for shipping feels stupid, like you're losing money on something intangible. So your brain rewrites the script. Oh, I'll totally use that extra candle sock bottle opener someday, which I will tell you right now, that is maybe one of my biggest, like I'll be like, oh, like I'll just go ahead and get that extra one. And then it's kind of like, time will pass and I'll be like, oh, it still has the tags on it. I never opened it. No, I didn't ever use it. So again, it's like you feel like you're being duped by shipping fees. So you make mental gymnastics to justify it.
There's restocking fees too now for returning.
So you might as well just keep it.
Yeah.
Just keep it. I will share something that kind of happened this weekend in that vein, and I'm probably going to end up keeping this for some odd reason. I'll explain in a second. I think my mind is just crossing some wires, and I came up with something I want to share, so I'm going to. Anchoring bias is the original shipping fee becomes the anchor. So when it gets removed, it feels like a bonus. Even if the price of the product was quietly bumped up to cover it, sneaky, right? So this is the same thing I was just sharing in kind of buying food online, which is the price is bumped up to ultimately cover it, maybe even make you pay more, but you've anchored to it as your decision point for moving forward. And then endowment effect. So once something is in your cart, your brain starts to treat it as if it's already yours. So it's mine. I've already bought it. And I mean, like, if I think about how many things sit in my cart in Amazon that I don't buy, but I'm like, yeah, it's there and I'll like get it tomorrow. So like, maybe I'll just go ahead and do that. The little story that I had, so random. We went to this lumber yard up here to pick up this stuff called hardy plank. And hardy plank is like a siding that you put on the side of your house. And we don't have like a big truck. We have like a SUV that we use to haul this crap around. And hardy plank didn't fit well in it. And the guy is like, you should just buy a 2x12 to give it support and bring it back. Right? And I was like, yeah, that's a great idea. That's exactly what I'm going to do. So I ran back in and I buy this $35 board that we use to support it. And at the end of the day, I had to buy it. There was no way I was going to get the hardy plank back to the house without buying this stupid board. And like, we get the hardy plank out and the the 2x12's hanging out of the car, and James is like, "What are you gonna do with this?" And he's like, "You gonna take it back?" And I'm like, I, I mean, I'm gonna have to pay that toll to take it all the way back, and then I'm gonna have to spend all that gas to drive it out there. And like, by the time I finally get back out there, I may not be able to. I think we're just gonna keep it.
You got upsold, so you
I
were sold
did.
merchandise additionally that you
Yeah.
didn't really need for, per se, but now it's an inconvenience to return it, so you're probably going to keep it.
And then I also did that thing, and I was like, I'll use it somewhere. At some point here. And meanwhile, it's going to be 4 years out, and here's going to be that 2x12, which is an absolute 2x12 by 12. It's an absolutely massive piece of wood that is like just floating around the house as if it has a home. I don't know. Anyway,
that was your 10 minutes.
There we go. Perfect. So, given the fact that you're around like customer service, are there experiences people talk about where like people call in and they're like, this person is fucking addicted. Like this person has a problem.
Yes.
Oh, where people have been like, cut this client off.
Well, if they keep the merchandise, we're not going to cut them off because we're there to, sell merchandise. But we have people that are chronic, buyers and returners. I don't know what they do with the product, but a lot of retailers will send you a letter, stating that we're not going to continue to do business with you because you have a 100% return rate, or because it costs, the company resources and shipping fees,
the restocking and the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
You ready?
It's my turn then. Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Go.
So, Tim, this is one time where I kind of looked at the same things as you did. I did read about the psychology behind it. The couple of things I'll add to what Ryan said, though, which I thought was interesting, which we sort of touched on here. A big part of online shopping, which I read went up 43% after COVID.
Oh, my God.
That's what COVID did for shopping, which I think is an insane number. Like it had been steadily going up, but by like really small increments. And then literally the online shopping industry saw a 43% profit jump after COVID that has not gone down. Like it has stayed there. Because before that, I read that people didn't online shop for like basic things like toilet paper, Windex.
I did.
Well, you did, but you're just too important and your time is too valuable. You did too. I'm like, you live in a walk up. You have an excuse.
Yeah. And I don't have a car, so it's convenient.
But I think your average American, I think this was also a worldwide number too. So it was like US, the UK, like a lot of places. And that was the main thing. They were like, most people saved online shopping for like specialty stuff that you couldn't normally get, like a rare record that you could only find on eBay or stuff like that, or like a special thing that they didn't have in the store that day, so you had to buy it online.
I do love the EFAs.
Oh, so the other psychological thing that we kind of touched on, a big reason people found that they loved it is, especially if shopping brings you joy, if you're one of those people where it's therapeutic, people discovered that shopping online takes away a lot of the friction of shopping, which is human interaction. Because with human interaction becomes any kind of emotional anything. And especially if you're somebody who has any level of insecurity, or you're just doing retail therapy, you feel judged. Even if you aren't being judged, you're that person who's just like, oh, well, I'm just buying that. Like, you're that person who feels the need to justify it to the person who's like checking you out at the store, who honestly, as I'm sure Lindsay can attest, doesn't care.
I'm only buying this cucumber and hand cream because I have dry hands and I love cucumbers.
I just
don't look at me that way.
Yeah. And meanwhile, the cashier's just like, ma'am, I'm making $20 an hour. I truly don't care. Like, but it takes away any kind of judgment that you might have, as well as second thought, because you have to like drive to the store or walk to the store. You have to go in. You have to like put clothes on to go out in public. Like it's work.
No, you don't.
That's no shoes, no problem. There's too many obstacles, whereas online shopping just makes it so easy to make poor decisions. So like when you go to a store, you have to really, so all that friction is gone.
Can I just share? I feel like Costco has solved this for the in-store experience, and I don't know why or how, because I will go stand in that fucking line. I don't know why.
Oh, and Costco lines are 7 miles long. Like you might
I
as well
know.
run a marathon.
I will tell you though, they do move oddly fast.
Carts full.
And also I feel like Costco is like the physical version of Amazon where you go in to buy toothpaste and you come out with a she shed and a sectional
Of
couch.
course. Yeah.
And croissants. And you're just like, but enough croissants for
And you
like
feel good about it.
for the entirety of the first grade. So that was a big part of it. No worries. And then as you said, the other psychological thing is to the anticipation, how it's like Christmas. That's also half the fun, is the waiting for it to arrive. And then when it does arrive, you get to open the box. And it's so exciting, which is why I think unboxing videos are so popular. People love the unboxing experience that you don't get when you shop and just take it home and it's just in a bag. Like, it's such sort of a mental, it's so anticlimactic. The exciting thing was the paying for it. Now the exciting things is the arrival. So that psychological part of it too, which I think people become hooked on, is the receiving, which, Lindsay, like you said, is probably why so many people buy things, because they want to just get it and they're so excited. And then they're like, oh, but now I don't need it, so I'm just going to send it back because the happiness is over. My mental G-spot has been tickled and now it's done, which, as we all know now, is just purely mental. But yeah, I think that's interesting. And I see why it's such a slippery slope. And also there's the thing where a lot of people will like buy a lot of stuff online after drinking or being home, late or after a stressful day, and then you forget you bought it. And then it arrives, and then that feeling is like doubly fun because it's like, what did I get? I don't even remember buying anything.
On our bar in Asbury Park, oh, I'm sure you saw it, there is a penis decanter.
Yes.
Okay, I no fucking clue when I bought that. Like, I don't remember when I made the purchase.
Where did you find that thing?
Oh, I don't know. It was probably advertised on fucking Instagram. And I was like, oh, that'd be fun. And like, it's the dumbest thing ever. I totally forgot about it. Months went by. Like, it was probably one of those things that they didn't make it till they got a critical point. And the damn thing shows up and I open it up and I'm like, when the fuck did I buy this?
Also, real quick side note, online shopping, to be fair, my first thought was Jeff Bezos' wedding since Amazon. And I saw an interesting, because I don't know why, because I don't know her personally, but I hate his wife, and I don't know why. It's this completely irrational, just like distaste. I think partly because she looks like Ursula the Sea Witch when she becomes a person. But if that woman, when Ursula becomes in The Little Mermaid and she has black hair and she like ruins Ariel's like she seduces the guy with Ariel's voice, I think his wife kind of looks like her if she had a lot of really bad plastic surgery.
I was gonna say Alice in Wonderland, the cat with that scary smile.
That too. She just looks like a cartoon villain. She might be the nicest person ever. I don't know, but she looks like a villain. And so I'm just inclined to be like, ugh.
Do you know what I think the other problem is that Mackenzie comes across, or I believe is, such a wonderful, I think she's a really wonderful person.
Oh,
and
Bezos' ex-wife.
To be kicked aside. Like, I mean, and look, I get it. Like, marriages end. Yeah, marriages end. I get it. That's life.
We don't know what was happening on the inside.
It's, you're like,
it's a little
that's what
shoving
you got
over
rid
Princess
of?
Diana for Camilla. It's a little that. Like, you shoved over this seemingly nice lady who seems pretty normal, who married you when you were not rich. And then you kind of shoved her over for the woman who straight up looks like a Disney villain. I don't know. And then their wedding is just so, I don't know why it just looks tacky. I don't know why, but to me, it just kind of all looks a little tacky. And then I saw a number which almost made me angry at the wealthy, where I was like, this is how the French Revolution began, where it was a $50 million wedding. But considering his wealth, it's the equivalent of me buying an ice cream cake and a bottle of champagne. Anyway, that's my rant about that. Real quick. Oh, I don't have time.
Oprah was there.
I was going to, oh, they all were there. But real quick, one more fun fact that I think is interesting, which I did not know. I thought that Amazon and eBay, I thought eBay was like the OG place to online shop, but it came out the same year as Amazon. The first major retailer to actually do online shopping was Pizza Hut. The first one that you could the first major company that you could buy online was, it was like pizza.net or something like that. And you could order pizzas online. And they were the first to do it. That was in like 1992 or something like that, or 1990, or right when the internet was getting started. But the original online shopping started in 1979. And you connected through your TV, and it was meant for the elderly or disabled who could order like groceries and things through their television. And it would go through a phone service. And that's how, it was meant for the elderly or the disabled to have things delivered. And then in 1998, PayPal was invented. And that really changed the game.
There's a documentary that has a lady in it who was like the e-commerce designer for Amazon and was talking about the obsessive ways and the things that they've done in that site to make it as easy as it is to trigger those pleasure centers and to make you buy. And she's talked about it. Like, I think she's been sued by Amazon for sharing some of the stuff that she shared. And yeah,
probably because it's all a mind game. It's fascinating. Okay, Lindsay, you get to now choose a winner. Whatever that means for you.
I guess I'll go with Ryan, but I did enjoy the Pizza Hut. I didn't know about.
Isn't that a fun fact?
Yes, very cool.
Yeah.
Pizza Hut was way ahead of their time. But Ryan, I agree. That was a really nice presentation.
Oh,
it was linear. It was smooth, much like an online shopping experience.
I was trying to make it addictive.
And what are we talking about next week, Lindsay?
Oh, yeah. What's our topic for next week? I always forget.
Grocery shopping.
Grocery shopping.
I think we've done grocery shopping.
Did we do grocery shopping? Oh, we did, because I talked about Wegmans. I'm so sorry, Lindsay. You have to pick another topic.
Oh, that's the first time that's happened.
Beach house rentals.
My brain just went straight to HGTV.
Oh my God, Beach House Bargain Hunt.
Yes. Oh, I've spent many an hour watching Beach House Bargain Hunt.
Did you know we applied to do that when we did Asbury Park?
When you got
we made it, we got like the first interview and then we never heard from them again. And then our good friend Jonathan was like working on Beach House Bargain Hunt. And he was like, why didn't you call me? And I was like, I didn't fucking know you were working on that show.
Oh, that's a fun one though, Lindsay. I feel like I'm just going to end up looking at beautiful beach houses and dreaming.